but you add in those extracts and it just makes it so balanced and so perfect. My goodness, that tastes amazing. Okay, so now that this mixture is fully cooled down, let's put our keto Baileys in a Bailey's glass. Hey guys, it's the Keto King here, and yes, I have a keto recipe just in time for this Christmas holiday period, and we're going to be making a keto version of Bailey's Irish Cream. This keto Bailey's is easy to make. You can make as much or as little of it as you need, and it's a brilliant substitute for this Bailey's Irish Cream. So let's get this carb full product out of the way and tell you what ingredients you're going to need for this keto recipe. You'll need some unsweetened cocoa powder, a sweetener of your choice, some heavy or whipping cream, some vanilla extract, some almond extract, some instant espresso powder. You can substitute this out for regular coffee powder, but I do recommend this, and some Irish whiskey. That's it. Let's get to this keto Bailey's recipe. Alright, you're going to grab yourself a saucepan here. We're going to start adding in our ingredients here. Starting out with our sweetener of our choice, and I'm using xylitol here. There are some questions as to whether xylitol actually induces a glycemic response from your body. Look, the studies aren't perfect, how they've been done or measured. My preferred sweetener is erythritol, and I have a packet coming from Amazon as we speak. It just hasn't arrived yet. Link in the description box below to where you can get erythritol from Amazon. But we're going to be using xylitol for today. So we're going to add in 1/3 of a cup of xylitol, or a sweetener of your choice. Then we're adding in 1.5 teaspoons of unsweetened cocoa powder. And now we have this instant espresso powder. Now you can buy this in the stores. Alternatively, what you can do is use any regular espresso powder that has actually been brewed. What you do is get that used or brewed espresso powder, put it on a baking sheet, pop it in the oven at its lowest heat possible until it's fully dried. Once that's done, you put that in a little grinder, such as a coffee grinder, and grind it up again as fine as possible, and this is what you have. If you don't want to go to that effort, just go and buy it from the store. So we're going to add in a 1/4 teaspoon of this instant espresso powder. This just really gives that chocolate the extra kick. Adding coffee to any chocolate recipes is actually a great tip. Makes that chocolate pop. So give that just a quick little mix. Oh, the metal on metal gives me the absolute chills. Oh man, I can't handle that. So once that's mixed in a little bit, then we're going to add in a cup of heavy or whipping cream. Now we're going to add this in really slowly. We're just going to try and incorporate the previous ingredients with the cream. Add in a bit more. And just repeat this process until you're done. Okay, and that looks good. You can already feel when you're doing it that you've gotten rid of a lot of that grainy texture from the sweetener. And we're going to bring this cream to the boil. Now, obviously with cream you want to be careful. You don't want to blast that heat and bring it up to the boil too quickly. So we're just going to do this slowly over time, gradually increasing the temperature of the plate until we get this mixture to the boil. While you're doing that, just continuously, or at least fairly frequently, stir this mixture. And now this is, as you can see, it's steaming and starting to come to the boil. Just going to turn it down a little bit. We don't want it to come to a boil too quickly. And there we go, we've got it on the boil here. It really doesn't take too much heat to bring it to the boil, so just go easy on that. Now that it's at the boil, what we're going to do is turn it down to a simmer and leave it uncovered, because you want this to reduce a little bit, which will thicken up this mixture. So the heat's just clicked on again, but for a simmer what you really want is just a little bit of bubbling in the mixture, not a lot though. So for me, that's what you just want it bubbling, just a little bit, not too much. For me, the heat is really on its lowest. It can't go any lower than that. So that's for me what I need to put it on to get this to simmer. So we're gonna let this simmer for around 10 minutes. Okay, so I let this simmer for 15 minutes. It has reduced somewhat. As you can see, all of the ingredients are now nicely incorporated, fully incorporated in here. So we're gonna turn it off, this heat, and take the saucepan off. Okay, we're gonna let this cool down just for a few minutes. Okay, this has cooled down for around 5 minutes. Okay, and then we're gonna add in some almond extract. Now, I found this at my local store, but if you can't find it, I'll put a link down to it in the description box below on Amazon.com. So we're gonna add in a half a teaspoon of this almond extract, and then a quarter teaspoon of good old vanilla extract. Oh, vanilla extract smells amazing. Okay, give that a good stir. It's quite remarkable to taste the difference that those extracts make to the taste of this. So I tasted it before putting in the extracts, but you add in those extracts and it just makes it so balanced and so perfect. My goodness, that tastes amazing. If you're not a big drinker and you don't want to make this into a Bailey's Irish Cream, you can use this as is now. As you see, it's thickening up as it's cooling down. You can absolutely use that, drizzle it on your favorite dessert or whatnot. There's a ton of ways you can use this. Now I've got Irish whiskey here. You can use things like Jameson's or any Irish whiskey you can find. You don't need to get anything too expensive. Now obviously this is just a guide for you to start with. Now I'm going to add it in slowly, add it in, taste a bit, add it in, taste a bit until I get my perfect strength of this. And you should do the same too. So let's add this in. Alright, so let's give this a taste. So I used approximately 150 mils or so. I get that boozy goodness. Makes me feel like I'm having a drink. It's not too much, it's not overpowering, and you still get that wonderful sweetness in here. So I'm going to leave it there, but you adjust it according to your preference. On a side note, if you want to make sure you're drinking the right alcohol this holiday season to keep it keto, take a look at the video I created, which I'll put a link to in the top right hand corner of your screen now. It's a really comprehensive review of the different types of alcohol and what works and what doesn't work in a keto lifestyle. Well worth the watch, so go check that one out. Right, so just to remind you how bad regular Bailey's Irish Cream is for you on a keto lifestyle. So, per 37 milliliter serving, you are taking in 7.4 grams of carbs. Now, let me show you. Now you may say to me, hey Keto King, 7.4 grams of carbs, not too bad for a drink. Well, that's per 34 milliliters. Let me show you what 34 milliliters actually looks like. That is 34 milliliters or 1.2 ounces of Bailey's. There's no ways someone's pouring you 34 milliliters or you're pouring yourself 34 milliliters of this. Look how tiny that is. Usually you at least pour yourself about that much in the glass. If you just double this amount, which is absolutely easy to do, you could get way over that amount, you'd be taking in almost 15 grams of carbs. Guys, this is a no-go. You're gonna work so hard on your keto lifestyle and ruin it with a drink like this. So get rid of it, say no to it, and make this Keto Bailey's alternative. Okay, so now that this mixture is fully cooled down, let's put our Keto Bailey's in a Bailey's glass. And you end up with a Keto Bailey's Irish Cream like this. Alright, and there we are, guys. It looks fantastic. Smells amazing. I'll do a quick taste test here for you guys. Wow. Firstly, that's very rich, incredibly sweet, but you still get that wonderful Irish whiskey flavor coming through. But again, you just tweak it to your preference. This is a great substitute for Bailey's Irish Cream. It doesn't taste perfectly like it, but you know what? But it gives you the option to share something similar if others are having Bailey's around the Christmas period, or if you want to serve your guests a Bailey's-like drink. Make this and I tell you, everyone is going to love it. Really so easy to make, guys. This recipe is an absolute winner in my books. Thanks so much for watching, guys. As always, like this video, it really helps the channel. Comment down below, I love hearing from you guys, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new awesome keto recipes like this. If you have some questions you'd love to have answered, check out my Patreon page, or if you'd like to grab some keto merchandise, go take a look at my Redbubble store. And as always, keep it keto.